Today, we're going to dive into a few recent comments on my YouTube videos, and I'm excited to do this because it's been a while since we've done it. My name is Brittany Page, and this is The Page Perspective. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get into it, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. Most of my views come from people who are actually not subscribed to the channel, so it helps a lot. Please do that. And I just turned on channel memberships. So if you are a return viewer and you get value from the work that I do here, I would love it if you would become a channel member for just $1.99 per month. You can click the join button below and see what all is involved there. So one of my favorite parts of doing work here on YouTube is interacting with the growing community of people that are popping up in the comments. I know that is strange to say that I love the YouTube comments. I don't always, okay? Sometimes it is beautiful, moving, personal stories from people that identify with the things I'm talking about. And other times it's hateful garbage. That happens. It's the YouTube comment section. So this isn't a mean comment video specifically, but it's gonna be featuring some comments filled with criticism that I think are common criticisms that I get when I talk about certain topics. So the first two comments that we're gonna get to here are on my most recent video that I did regarding comments from the district attorney in San Francisco, Brooke Jenkins, and some terrible things that she had to say about the unhoused community. So I got two comments that I'm going to read here. One is from the at Latvian Orthodox 3436. They wrote, "You house them then. Open the doors to your house. Homeless just want to keep use drugs. That's all it is. Your reality is from reality. Nobody wants to smell shit and piss everywhere they go." And then I also got one of a similar vein from Tired Old Mechanic 1791, who writes, "How many people does Brittany have living in her yard?" Ah, yes. This is a common response whenever I talk about and encourage people to have compassion or empathy or advocate for those in a less fortunate position. I don't talk publicly about the charitable things that I'm involved with, whether it's money that I'm donating or my time that I'm donating or certain projects that I am involved with, because it feels disingenuous to do those things and then like take a picture and post it. But I am doing things in my community to help. And the thing is, it isn't just one person or one group of people that can alleviate this suffering. It's going to require a government response. We need public funding. We need robust investment in our social infrastructure. I personally can't solve the problem. You personally can't solve the problem. By bringing someone into my house, I'm not going to solve the problem. And so in addition to the work that I do here, I encourage people to engage their own passion on these issues and vote for people who will take these issues seriously. And, you know, we recently learned that the Pentagon failed their 6th consecutive audit. So they are continuing to waste unchecked billions of dollars every year. And we don't see a lot of concern over that. I mean, you may have seen the headline, but have you seen politicians calling for any kind of action in response to them failing their 6th consecutive audit when they get unchecked billions every year? That is something that people should take more seriously, because we could be using some of that to help people in need. So the purpose of comments like these, I think, is to portray me as somehow disconnected from these issues. And I feel very connected to these issues in various ways. Number one, growing up poor. Number two, working as a therapist in sliding scale clinics and in inpatient psychiatric facilities. I also live in Washington, D.C. And when I say I live in Washington, D.C., I mean I live in D.C. I don't live in Maryland. I don't, live in Virginia. I live in Washington, D.C. And so I see poverty all around me. But the difference is I don't look at those people and then think hateful thoughts. I have compassion. I have empathy. I don't feel contempt for them. And I guess a good story that illustrates this is I saw someone using drugs on my neighbor's doorstep recently. And I wasn't angry with this person. I wasn't, joining some sort of neighborhood group. I wasn't updating my neighborhood app. I watched to make sure that she was okay. And I was prepared to use my Narcan if needed, because my concern was with her safety. And my other concern was, why aren't we investing in supervised consumption sites in this city so that people don't have to use on the doorstep of a house? They could have somewhere to go. And so, for example, to the first commenter, if you don't want to see or smell piss and shit everywhere you go, start advocating for investment in public health. Binge watch my videos and continue commenting to feed the algorithm. I think that might help. So keep those comments coming. All right, we have one more comment that we're going to get to before we wrap up. This is from, LEIAG201, quote, "I don't have kids. I don't want kids. I don't really care about people that try to have kids. That's what you get for living in Texas." I read this and it took my breath away. I had to kind of take a moment and think, wow, what is happening here? So this is in response to a tweet that I put in my community tab about a case in Texas involving a woman named Kate Cox who was seeking an abortion, and her fetus was diagnosed with a fatal fetal abnormality. She filed a lawsuit asking a judge to grant her a temporary restraining order so that she could obtain an abortion in the state of Texas. The judge ruled in her favor, allowing her to have the medical procedure, but Attorney General Ken Paxton appealed that and threatened her doctors with prosecution and fines. And the Texas Supreme Court was going to be making a ruling, but Kate Cox couldn't wait. She had to leave the state of Texas and go somewhere else to get an abortion, because her life was in danger. She has been to the emergency room 4 times in the past month. So she had to leave. She had to get out of the state. And lucky she could do that, because a lot of people cannot do that. And I think this case illustrates the gravity of abortion bans. It illustrates what they do to people. It is not safe to be a pregnant person in Texas, in any state that has an abortion ban. But this comment was striking because, listen, if I continue to have it my way, I will also never be pregnant and never birth a child. But that doesn't mean I don't care about people who do. In fact, I spend a lot of time talking about abortion because it's important. And this is kind of the problem. We shouldn't only care about things that impact us personally. We should care about things if they harm people. There's also millions of people living in poverty in Texas that can't just up and leave, whether they have families that they rely on for support in the state of Texas, or they don't have the finances to just up and leave because there's now an abortion ban in place. The work is educating people and helping to elect people who will make the situation better, not blame people in that state for their circumstances, especially when we don't know. I don't know Kate's political views. All I know is that she's suffering and her life was in danger because of the abortion ban. And we can talk about her case now as an illustration for people who may have been previously unaware of what abortion bans do. So thank you for that comment. Hopefully this conversation can be something that changes your mind. And listen, in the comments, don't attack these people. I want the comment section to be a place where we can change hearts and minds. That's something that's important to me. So don't go after these people if you can. I mean, I can't control what happens in the comment section, so do your best. I'd love to know what you think about these comments and my response to the comments. You can call and leave a voicemail, 657-464-7609, or send an email to idoubitit@dollemore.com. Now is the time that we thank our newest channel members, because this work only happens because of you. Thank you to Matthew H., Scott W., Sally Z., Susanna I., and Melissa C. Thank you so much for joining this growing community. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you, and I will see you next time.